we have an especially interesting and exciting Village in Motion for you today. We're talking about elections, and we have the players talking about their production. Stay tuned. Good morning and welcome to Village in Motion. I'm Marcia Boyles, your host this morning, and I'm particularly delighted to begin our Village in Motion this morning with Kathleen Henry, who's going to be talking about the upcoming elections. Kathleen, welcome.
Thank you. I'm always happy to have an opportunity to talk about elections with my fellow residents. Just ask anyone who knows me. I want to remind our residents who are pretty savvy in these issues that November 7th is the upcoming general election. And as usual, we will be on duty from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the Hunters Crossing Conference Center.
Kathleen, just to remind newcomers, we are our own precinct and we all vote here.
We are indeed our own precinct, and it's, I hate to use the word luxury, but it really is.
It is indeed.
Yes, and we are all Green Spring and no one but Green Spring. So that makes it even nicer.
And have I think consistently the highest percentage of those who vote. Do we not?
We do. There is only one election that some other precinct beat us out. I don't know what that was about, but since 2003, when we became our own precinct, we have won the prize for the largest percentage of registered voters. And to build on that, Marcia, even, the percentage of residents who are registered voters is truly excuse me, amazing. Out of a little over 1,900, we have over 1,800 on our rolls.
Is that right? So it's over 90%?
Yes. Yeah, not every precinct can say that.
No, for sure.
That's for sure. Okay. So I want to tell you that in contests for statewide positions, there is no ticket per se. And so, unlike right now, where the governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general are all of the same party, that may well change for the next election. And as unusual as it might seem, you can have a governor of one party and a lieutenant governor of the other party.
Is that true in other states?
In many states, no. They have tickets. Another thing that's unusual about our state is there are the presidential elections, 16 and 20. And then there are what they call the off-year elections, 18. We are the off-year election here in 17. Only 2 states, New Jersey and Virginia, have statewide elections this year. And since New Jersey's election seems to be a foregone conclusion, Virginia is getting, as you've read in the paper, I'm sure, quite a bit of attention for this particular election. Yeah. Okay. So talking about our ballot, on the ballot, which will be written in 4 languages, English, Spanish, Vietnamese, and Korean.
Korean?
Yes. Yep, that's one was newly added. It goes by the percentage of population of the residents, and if your particular ethnic group reaches a certain percentage, then you must be represented.
Is that the way that works?
Yes.
Interesting. I would not have guessed Korean.
Okay. On the ballot is for governor, Ralph Northam, Ed Gillespie, and Clifford Hyra, H-Y-R-A, is a Libertarian. For lieutenant governor, Justin Fairfax and Jill Vogel. For attorney general, the incumbent, he's the only incumbent running, Mark Herring, and John Adams. Our incumbent, our personal 39th representative, incumbent Vivian Watts, is running unopposed. There is a bond issue, and it is asking to authorize $315 million for school upgrades and construction. Okay, now Fairfax County has given us many of these, just watch for them around campus, little brochures. Mostly they tell about where you can do in-person absentee voting. Okay. And the League of Women Voters, particularly the unit here at Green Spring, has gotten us many of these. So look around the campus for these. These are nonpartisan and incredibly informative. They are made for the state at large. So look for our own district, which is, once again, the 39th, for specific information. Okay. Yeah, it's called What's on the Ballot, as you can see. As always, there are 3 ways to vote. Absentee by mail. The deadline for receipt of those is October 31st. Now, absentee voting sounds like such a wonderful idea, and it is in theory, but it is complicated, Marcia.
Complicated to get the ballot?
Well, here's the process. First of all, you get an application from someone who has one, like for instance me. And
you actually have the physical application.
I had the application. People have said, do you have ballots? No, I do not have ballots.
Okay,
I do have applications.
All right. And are they available online?
They are available online. And then you send that away. Now, the minute you have sent yours to the electoral board, that's when you are counted as having voted. Now that's important. It's not when you send them back, the ballot back. It's when the ballot is sent to you, because from that time on, it's in your possession. So
theoretically, at least.
Well,
I mean, unless the mail gets goofed up.
Oh my, well, yes. Please. Another complication on this, we do not need.
I didn't need to bring that up.
So then we get it, it's in your home, and you open it, there are 2 envelopes, and you mark the ballot, and then you have to have it witnessed. Now, it can be witnessed by anybody. You don't have to get an election officer or anything like that. And then you send it in. And when you send it in, of course, they will mark who it is for whom you have voted. But if any of those steps along the way don't happen, there you are. You have considered
you've lost
voted.
your vote.
You've lost your vote. Yes. Okay. So that's absentee by mail. When people ask me for that, I always ask them if there's a chance that they might be able to go to an absentee in-person place. Because that's a more sure bet.
And where is the closest place?
We have a whole list of them here, and the 2 closest ones are Franconia and West Springfield. Yes, and the hours, etc., are on here, and they're open already on Saturdays, and will be open starting the 16th on weekdays. But the thing of it is, they're only open from 3:30 to 7. I've had some of our people go over and say, I couldn't get in. You know, they went at like 1 o'clock or so. So
all right,
again,
so there must be huge lines.
This is on that. Here, well, the earlier you go, the smaller the line. That always works that way. I do want to remind people who take advantage of this absentee in person that photo ID is required. For for voting by mail, no, but in person, yes. And then, of course, our favorite way is in person down at the conference center on Election Day. We'll be using paper ballots, and I read in the newspaper where the whole state of Virginia will have gone to paper ballots, and I'm really pleased to hear that.
Yes, absolutely, yes. That's good news.
I was involved in the recount, and we were able to recount paper ballots.
Sure.
But when we had a piece of tape from a voting machine, there you were. What you had is what you got.
Well, that's good news.
That is very good news. People probably know that when the ballot goes into the scanner, it is unscathed. Yes. So if anything is considered not going right, they can run it through another machine. Worst come to worst, we could count them by hand.
Yes.
I hope it never comes to that.
Yes.
Okay. We will also have the express vote for people who find it difficult to mark ballots for any reason. The election officers will have the poll pads. Oh, so many times things have changed with regards to how we sign in people. I mean, I remember when we had to, well, that was back in the old days. Anyway, we'll have the poll pads now with the little trays. If you have a valid Virginia license and you put your license in the tray, look, Ma, no hands. All your pertinent information will pop right up on the screen without the election officer doing anything.
Oh, for heaven's
Yes.
sakes.
So that enables us to check people in really fast.
Now, driver's license or Virginia ID?
Unfortunately, and I know they're working on that, but the photo ID, and I do want to mention that we did a photo ID program here not too long ago. We had 31 people. I was really pleased.
Good.
But anyway, that one will not, it will work for ID, absolutely, but it will not work magic
Automatically.
in the tray.
All right, so bring your driver's license if you have one.
it. Yes. I'll
And it must be a current driver's license.
Current Virginia or expired less than 1 year.
Less than 1 year.
Yeah, and
okay.
Virginia. I've had people who say, well, I still have my the current license from Georgia. Well,
Won't work.
It won't work, no. Okay, the election officers at the table, as I say, have these magic devices, and since all the election checker inners have every name in their poll pad, there's no need for lining up alphabetically or anything, if you'll remember how we used to do that.
Indeed.
Yes, so sign in is fast. It will take a little bit longer to fill in those. I wish the ovals were larger, and I wish they were in black or red or something, but they're small and in gray, and that is a challenge for some of our people. But please don't let that discourage you. We have magnifying glasses. We have people who will help you.
Oh, you do have magnifying glasses?
Yes, both the sheet ones and the big ones like this.
Interesting.
And the express vote, if you get down there and are checked in, we will find a way for you to vote.
Okay.
Yes, we never turn anybody away if we can possibly help it. We are fortunate again to have Ivan Ives as our chief and Ann Daniels as our assistant chief. We do love it when we can have as many Green Spring people running the actual election as we can. And I'll do my usual job of working with community resources. I'm going to be working with Dwayne this time for the first time.
Yes, our new community resources person.
Exactly, to get everything set up on Monday so that Tuesday will just run right along. We're expecting a large turnout, don't we always? Yes. And so we will be utilizing the 2 elevator system.
Yes.
Yeah, down through the lobby, up through
the kitchen.
the back. So if you're not an early voter, we expect and hope to see you at the Hunters Crossing Conference Center on Tuesday, November 7th between 6 a.m. and yes, we do have early birds waiting in line.
I know.
And 7 p.m.
Well, Kathleen, as usual, your degree of organization is always impressive, and the information I think is very clear. Can you think of anything else we might have left out?
The fact that there are so many dates and deadlines, I'm happy to tell you that the October issue of The Villager will also be very informative in that regard.
Well, this has been extremely helpful. Kathleen, I think this is about the 3rd or 4th or 5th time that you and I have sat here and talked about elections, and I'm always impressed with the degree of clarity with which you provide this information. So I think this is very helpful. We have to urge everybody to vote.
Absolutely.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll stop now and have a roll-in.